Hey, good morning, Choice. Hope your day's off to a wonderful start. Today, I want to talk about using apps and AI to help you with measuring square footage in a home and when that might be appropriate and when it's not. First thing to know is that the North Carolina Real Estate Commission expects that you are going to have the home measured, either measure it yourself or hire a competent person to measure that every time you're taking a listing. So, from the commission's perspective, you can't rely on a past appraisal, a past listing, a tax record, anything like that. You need to be having the home measured for the purposes of taking that listing. Ultimately, even when you hire someone else, the burden of the square footage being reported accurately falls on the listing agent. So, if you are relying on someone skilled and capable at measuring, if they are off by a significant amount because maybe they missed a space, that burden still falls on you. You should be able to recognize, having been in the home, that the reported square footage seems to be off, and you should have investigated that. But what I specifically want to talk about here is where the apps like CubiCasa, which is a program that is offered actually through Dorify MLS. If you're a member there, you can utilize that. But this is an app that you would use on your phone, and you would simply go through the spaces in the house. And thanks to AI technology, it can pretty accurately, in most cases, determine the square footage of a home. It can see through furniture, things like that, to pinpoint corners of rooms and determine that measurement. However, I want to caution you that there are limitations to apps like this. And while they may be mostly accurate, you don't want to be one of the cases where it is inaccurate and now some liability for missed square footage or over-reported square footage falls onto you and could ultimately be a financial obligation you have if it really blows up. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to strongly encourage not using apps and AI technology like that as your source of square footage that you're going to be reporting in the MLS. However, there is certainly a place for these apps in your business model. So as you go on a listing appointment, for example, you may be able to pull out an app like that and pretty quickly determine a close estimate, pretty accurate estimate of the square footage, which will then help you as you go back and prepare to do your CMA. That way you're operating with pretty accurate square footage numbers. Especially if a home has not been listed in the MLS before, maybe all you have to go on is the tax record. And we don't know exactly how accurate that is going to be. And at least if there was a previous listing, you can operate at that stage under the assumption that the listing agent then had the home measured. Of course, you're going to measure it yourself or have it measured yourself. But this CubiCasa or similar apps could be an option for you to go into a home and quickly make sure that the listing is of the square footage you think it is. This could also work if there's an unrepresented seller or for sale by owner. Maybe you go in and check the square footage using an app like that to help your buyer as they prepare to make an offer. So there is a place for these tools, but you want to make sure that you are having a competent, in my opinion, a competent human coming out to measure the home, to make sure they're using their judgment and their understanding of the commission rules about ceiling heights and slopes, what percentage of a room has to be above a certain height, things like that. While that kind of criteria can be built into an app, of course, we don't know how accurately it's going to measure the ceiling height or slope in a room, whereas a human can do that much more accurately, or at least you can have a higher level of confidence in what you are reporting. The stakes are too high with home prices where they are now to have any question. We want to make sure we're getting accurate square footage. So just wanted to throw these ideas out to you, and as a reminder to make sure you are in fact having that accurate square footage created for every listing that you take. If you have questions, ideas, thoughts, or maybe other apps or programs or experiences you can share that might help our audience, please put them in the comments. We all want to learn from each other's experiences. So until next time, take care.